Have you ever wondered what happens to recycled plastic? And are you aware of the issues associated with fabric recycling? After watching my video, you'll find the answers to these questions, as well as understand how you can contribute to environmental conservation. The video will explore the environmental benefits of recycling. This information will cover everything you need to know about the waste management process. Let's start with the fact that recycling is the process by which waste materials are processed for reuse. I don't think anyone would be surprised by that, but still. This means that materials that are typically discarded as trash can be used to create new products. For example, glass can be recycled into new bottles, and paper into new paper. Do you know why glass and paper are recycled so differently? No? Because glass is afraid to become a bottle again, but paper isn't afraid to become paper again. This not only helps reduce the amount of waste, but also saves resources and money. Many companies and organizations are now involved in recycling to reduce their negative impact on the environment and create a more sustainable economy. You can sell or donate materials for secondary processing to these companies and receive money as a reward for your contribution to waste management. Different companies have different goals and approaches to waste, so payment opportunities may vary. Some companies may pay for certain types of materials, while others may offer reward for using specific disposal methods. In any case, waste recycling can be a source of additional income for you, if you are willing to put effort into disposing of and reusing various materials. You can earn money by collecting and delivering old or reused versions of these products for recycling. It can be scrap metal, including aluminum, steel, copper, bronze, also plastic, and they even accept used cardboard boxes and printer cartridges. As for cans, I personally have plenty of those. Waste recycling saves energy, helps keep materials out of landfills and incinerators, and provides raw materials for manufacturing new products. When waste generation cannot be prevented, the best option is its reuse. And know that recycling is more than just extending the life of landfills. Now, let's talk in more detail about plastic recycling. Do you know why plastic recycling resembles magic? Because useful things emerge from unnecessary waste. Start by not throwing your smartphone in the trash. It's plastic too. There are two main methods of plastic recycling. The differences lie in the fact that there are different types of plastics, and they cannot be processed in the same way. The method chosen by the manufacturer depends on the available resources. Additionally, the desired end product may influence the choice. Mechanical recycling is the most popular method of plastic reproduction. It involves melting the plastic and then molding it into useful items using a process called injection molding. Advanced recycling is a process where plastic waste is broken down using chemicals. It consists of three methods. The material may undergo pyrolysis, which involves converting plastic into crude oil. It can also undergo gasification, where plastic is converted into gas that manufacturers can use to generate energy. And finally, plastic can also undergo chemical recycling, where the polymer is converted into monomer, which can be used to create valuable products such as nylon. Both methods use similar stages to create the end product, but each process requires attention to detail. Additionally, the process can take months to complete. The step-by-step process of producing recycled plastic is as follows. The first step will be the same as exploring the world's oceans. Collect plastic bottles. Although it sounds simple, it's actually a tedious and painstaking task. Waste collection often depends on how efficiently companies and individuals dispose of their recyclable products. When it arrives at the plant, machines must separate the plastic by type. Materials vary in color, thickness, and type. Next, the plastic is washed or cleaned. Washing removes contaminants, such as labels, dirt, grime, food residues, adhesives, and other particles. After sorting, employees send the product to shredders. There, it undergoes a process of breaking into smaller pieces or shaped particles. Next is identification and sorting by quality and class. Separation is necessary for further processing. This ensures that the end product maintains excellent quality and appearance. And finally, processors turn the particles into useful products for manufacturers. The advantages of secondary plastic recycling are that it gives plastic a second life, not just a second wind. It also reduces environmental pollution. Through secondary material recycling instead of production, companies reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Making plastic requires coal, gas, and water, which deplete natural resources. Recycling requires much lower costs, so it imposes less burden on the environment. Plastic production requires the use of crude oil. Secondary recycling uses less fossil fuel. Now, let's talk about another form of sustainable production: the process of fabric waste recycling. Its necessity and overall ecological benefit are similar to the previous cycle of plastic processing. First, waste is collected for recovery. Then, there are also two reproduction methods: chemical and mechanical. Only the chemical method allows preserving the properties of the original fibers, making unlimited attempts at secondary processing possible, and closing the cycle of textile production. Whereas the mechanical method tends to reduce the quality of the material and the limited number of times the fibers can undergo such modernization. Recovered fabrics can be made entirely from natural fibers, such as cotton or wool. They can also have a synthetic base. This includes polyester and nylon. In many cases, a mixture of synthetic and natural raw materials is used to produce recycled fabrics. Such a blend is like the perfect combination of naturally genuine and artificially skillful. When it comes to the ecology of fabric production, it is important to consider that in the process of traditional cotton cultivation, the plant absorbs a significant amount of water from the soil. Additionally, a disproportionate amount of pesticides and fertilizers based on fossil resources, which deplete them, are used. Recycling allows avoiding these issues. There are many simple and creative ways to reuse fabric, even at home. Why is an old t-shirt so versatile? Because it can be used as a cleaning rag as well as stylish bed for a pet. That's the true fusion of fashion and utility. Then, if your old clothes are not synthetic, you can turn them into organic fertilizer. First, remove all metal or plastic parts, such as buttons or zippers. Then, finely chop them and add them to the compost pit in your garden. There, they will undergo biological decomposition, forming organic fibers. Companies with large amounts of fabric waste can reuse the scraps in the office. They can use them to make office furniture and decor or alternative products. There's a great chance that every worker will have such a unique jacket that business partners will be thrilled. You can also donate clothing and other textile items. This allows you to help those in need. If you are not ready for simple donations yet, perhaps selling your unwanted wardrobe to others would be more suitable. And so-called sustainable fashion brands sometimes organize recycling programs. For example, Nike's recycling program is aimed at recycling sports shoes that have reached the end of their life. If only my Abibas did the same. I would be over the moon with happiness. I could wear new sneakers every day. Now let's dive into the paper recycling process. The first paper mill processing recycled fiber occurred after World War I in the United States. According to research, nearly 75% of paper is recycled in the modern world. Most types of paper are recyclable, except for a few, such as paper towels, coffee cups, copy paper, pizza boxes, craft envelopes, and candy wrappers, which are not subject to secondary recycling. Wow, what a list of non-recyclable materials! Why can't paper towels and coffee cups be recycled? Probably because they've decided they don't want to be reused and prefer to remain in the paper world of cafes and kitchen adventures. It seems they're just not ready to become secondary pop stars in the recycling world. Paper recycling is such a huge and lengthy process that involves several stages. It includes collection, transportation, sorting, processing into usable material, and making new paper. The recycling process consists of the following stages: production of pulp, where paper is turned into pulp. Then the resulting suspension or pulp must be properly cleaned of all kinds of impurities. At this stage, ink is removed from the paper fibers. Next, chemicals are added to remove color for bleaching. As a result of this process, brown paper is produced. Oxygen and hydrogen peroxide are added for the production of white paper. Making new paper is the final and completing stage of reproduction. Here, the pulp is whipped again with wood fibers to make it smoother and stronger. And then it goes back into the printer, and the circle is complete. The ecological aspect of paper recycling is as follows. As we all know, trees are used to make this raw material. Thus, the more paper is recycled, the fewer trees will be cut down. Also, more energy is consumed in making paper from trees than in recycling paper pulp. It is estimated that recycling 1 ton of paper saves enough energy to power a home for 6 months. It also saves around 7,000 gallons of water. Well, I've found a golden recipe. Just tear up all unnecessary paper documents and turn them into an energy-saving rug under the bed. Let's move to the workshops with higher temperatures. We'll be reviving the lightweight metal with a slightly whitish color. It's the third most abundant element on Earth's surface. As you've guessed, it's aluminum, one of the most commonly recycled materials. Some people say that aluminum recycling is like a fairy tale adventure, starting with scrap, going through sorting, and when you think you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you realize that it's only the beginning of the melting process. Let me tell you a bit more about the metal melting process. Cleaned and shredded pieces of aluminum are placed in a furnace where they are melted down. Chemical substances are then added to achieve the desired consistency. As a result of this procedure, all impurities flow to the top. This layer is called dross. It is removed with specialized equipment. Then the metal is placed in a holding furnace. This equipment receives the molten material. There, the liquid aluminum is turned into ingots. The furnace is tilted, pouring the liquid into various molds. They are further cooled. Isn't it a magical process? There's a furnace, a potion, and magic. One of the most remarkable properties of aluminum is that it can be recycled countless times without losing quality. It's a versatile metal. During its secondary processing, much less energy is used compared to producing new aluminum. This significantly reduces greenhouse gas emissions, which benefits the environment as a whole. This, in turn, reduces global warming and drastic climate change. And again, since it is constantly recycled, the extraction of this metal can be significantly reduced. This prevents resource depletion. Let's move on to the most interesting and exciting part of the video. How can you make money from recyclables? There are several ways to start a waste recycling business. Here are some of them. You can simply start by collecting materials. Begin with sorting recyclables such as paper, plastic, glass, or metal. Then you can sell them to your recyclers or factories that produce goods from secondary resources. You can also make a business out of manufacturing products from waste. It's an engaging and highly promising industry that combines solving the waste problem and creating environmentally friendly and innovative products. Here are some examples of products that can be made from waste. You can make furniture from recycled plastic or wood. Such items have a unique design and are environmentally friendly. Again, clothing, bags, blankets, and other textile products can be made from recycled materials. You might succeed in making jewelry and accessories from secondary materials. Jewelry made from recycled glass, plastic, or metal can be popular among consumers who value environmentally friendly products. Make construction materials from waste. Blocks made from recycled plastic, wood, or glass, as well as other construction materials, can find application in environmentally friendly construction. Perhaps you'll be drawn to recycling organic waste into nutrient-rich compost. This can also be profitable. You can sell the resulting soil for soil enrichment or use it for your own needs. And if you own waste processing technology, you can already earn by offering services to other companies or individuals. In addition to these methods, there are other opportunities for making money from recycling. The main thing is to have an idea, desire, and knowledge of how to properly and effectively transform waste into something useful and profitable. To conclude the video, I'd like to leave you with this thought. Recycling is necessary to protect the environment from pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Despite the increasing number of people interested in this issue, there are still those who know too little about secondary recycling. I believe that after watching this video, there will be fewer such people.